I'm deciding on whether to do a midweek or not, and I decided to do one. I got a couple box sets. One I've had for a while, and I just haven't shown. The other one I just got in. I do have more of some of my old friends that I brought back into my collection, and I can show a few of them depending on how much time I have. Okay, so it doesn't go too long. The first one, though, this one just came in. It's Jethro Tull A. It's part of their series, their ongoing 40th anniversary series. I have most of them. I don't have the first couple, or at least Aqualung, which is now like $1 billion it costs. But we do have this. It comes in. There you got the actual CD. Then we have a concert version. On the back, we have the second part of the concert. Here we got DVD. There's a DVD in here, and there's a DVD in there. I guess we needed 3 DVDs, 3 CDs. I never really liked this part because if I want to play this one, I have to take off this one to do it. It's just a little thing, kind of a pain in the ass. When you look, it's a very nice book, which these all have been. They've done a really good job with documenting. They put in articles that have been done by band members because some have passed. So you'll see different articles so you can actually read. I mean, some of these were from 1989, the articles. Great pictures. A was a controversial album. I mean, look at that. That doesn't look like your normal Jethro Tull. Ian Anderson was looking at going solo, and he thought about, I'm just going to make a solo album. And so the band that had been together, you know, for quite some time, he let them all go. It just, hey, we're done. And most of them were good with that. They were just all tired of touring and doing everything. Some have, like the keyboard player, Evans, God, John Evans, escapes me. He was having a lot of alcohol problems. It was probably a good time just to say, let's disband, including Martin Barr. And Anderson was going to do his own thing. Well, he began to put together a new band for a solo album. And what he did is he brought in a bunch of these young kids. You know, young kids for him. Let's see here. And he brought in, and you know, you would have thought you could have researched this, like Eddie Jobson. He came in to play keys. There was Mark Craney. I believe that was drums. It was just to try to update his sound. Well, as he was going, he did ask Martin Barr, who's been his guitarist for, you know, since the start. And he goes, hey, would you play on a track? And Martin really didn't want to. He says, you know, you're doing your own thing. You don't really need, you should find a new guitarist to do this. Well, what was happening is Ian Anderson was getting worried because some of these younger guys were beginning to kind of take over, and let's do this and let's do that. And he felt he was losing some control, so he brought in Martin. And because he knew Martin, he knew what he could do to play on a song. Martin played on the whole album. And thus it became a Jethro Tull album instead of Ian Anderson's first solo work. Definite departure. I mean, you know, when this came out, it was like, yeah, it's okay. And that's what it was okay. Is it still, you know, if I rank Jethro Tull, would this be up there? No, it's not going to be up there. I'm just a big fan. And I love these, what they're doing with these books, and they're not that expensive. So they brought in more synths on this. I mean, you definitely hear, here comes the 80s. And that's really what it was about. And, you know, he just got done with the whole Elizabethan stage. You know, of Heavy Horses, of Songs of the Wood, of Stormwatch, and more folksy. Now we went synthesizer. And you can really hear it. You started to hear it on Stormwatch. It began to start appearing. Heavy on this one here. It's not a bad album. Is it a great one? In my honest opinion, for me, it's not. But it was fun to listen to this again. And of course, the concerts, they play all the hits. And I still don't have a DVD player since the flood. I haven't needed one. So, hey, I got 3 DVDs. I can just sit there and pretend that I'm seeing it. Hell if I know. So this just came in. The other one, and I've had this for a while, and it's been there to show, and I just haven't got around to it. This is the Bob Mould box set. This is volume 2. So this looks at his works from 1996 to 2007. Now, these are, box, nice. So they've done these different. They do send in, like the first box set I showed, it's autographed right there by Bob. You can kind of see it. Maybe not. He did not add to Steve. I'm a little shocked that I didn't get that kind of a personal, thing. I did buy the other one, but that's okay. I forgive him. So the albums, like the first set, they came up with new artwork. There's the actual album there, and this is Bob Mould. Bob Mould, like the first one also. It's different kind of, it's nice splatter vinyl. The Bob Mould one, this one was pretty much, you had the feeling, sounded like Bob Mould, what you would expect of Husker Du. You really, it was pretty enjoyable. It really rocked. He just went at it. It was a pretty good album. The next one that came out, and this one came out in 1996, and that's what it looked like. I had all these on CD. Next one was called The Last Dog and Pony Show. This is what it looks like here. I don't know what that has to do with The Last Dog and Pony Show. And this is what the artwork looked like. This one came out in 1998. On here, here's the splatter vinyl. He began to change a little bit. Okay, this was toned down some. It still rocked pretty hard, but it definitely was kind of different. He was starting to tire of what he was doing, and he was looking kind of to find a new direction. And the changes was happening. I remember this CD came out. I listened to it, but I didn't listen to it much. And as I've said in the 90s, with all the CDs I was buying, a lot of them just kind of went to the wayside. And I'm buying all the Bob Mould, but my favorite was Workbook, which was in the first set. After that, none of them quite had, I guess the first couple after that weren't too bad, but some of these were, it was okay. Then came this one here, Modulate. At this time, that's what it really looked like. Mould decided to go a totally, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this loud stuff. I'm done with the Husker Du sound. I'm doing my own thing. And he did. And this thing, dare I say dance music? Not quite, but I'm telling you, it really is a departure. And you do hear more of that 90s electronic sound is all over the place on here. And for many Husker Du fans, they just kind of scratch their head and go, what the heck is going on with this thing? Come on, man. God, we want to rock with Husker Du. And we sometimes as fans, when we're used to a certain thing, we forget about the artists who, I'm tired of it. I want to do something new and different. A lot of times it doesn't sell worth crap, but it doesn't matter. They need to do something else. And, personally, when this one came out, I'm just kind of going, huh? What's with all the electronic kind of stuff? But there it was. And that one came out in 2002. Also in 2002, he put out this, Long Playing Grooves. This is what that looks like. And I never had this. It's just some different songs. Again, it's very electronic type oriented music. Kind of neat splatter. This is 2 LPs, 45 RPM. Damn them. damn them all to hell. There's nothing that says 45 RPM on here until I play it, and I'm going, God, Mould's voice, which he doesn't sing tons on here. It's more instrumentation, more electronic is what I was hearing, but he really sounds like he's like been drinking cough syrup. And then I look, and oh, there it is, 45. I ain't, come on, man, I'm 62. How am I going to read that? Holy smokes, you know, I need trifocals to read that. Come on, just make it 33 RPM. So, but this came out in 2002 on long bomb, long playing grooves. So it was like modulate, like a second part of modulate. Definitely much more electronic or oriented kind of grooves happening. Next album was Body of Song. And that's what it originally looked like. And this one came out in 2005. Still a departure. Bob hasn't quite gone back to what he had been doing. You're starting to hear a little bit of it though. I never, again, wasn't one. The CD was, it was okay. You definitely heard him getting a little stronger, his voice getting a little, you know, angrier. I guess that's the thing with Bob Mould. When you think Ooskadoo and the beginning and Sugar, you think of anger. That's how he came out in his voice. And so you're starting to get some of that in here, and you feel, okay, he's starting to think about, I'm coming back, but still, this was more of a departure. I felt a little bit softer than what he had been doing. Then, this one I never bought. I didn't even know about Blow Off. And that's what it looked like, the album cover. This came out in 2006. I don't even remember this thing coming out. And looking at the vinyl, because all of these have pretty cool vinyl, all this splatterguard. What makes this one different is he wrote it with another person, Richard Moore. Richard Morrill is the name of the person. This is the first time. All these other albums, it was just Bob Mould, written, done by. Here he added this Richard Morrill, who also did vocals. And if you don't know that, so you're listening to it, it says Bob Mould, and you go, man, he has pretty melodic voice. Bob Mould doesn't have a melodic voice, but there's this nice voice going on, and it was totally different. It's Richard Morrill. And so he adds something different to it. Again, it's two albums, 45 RPM. I figured it out when this time is 2 albums. Oh, bastards, they put on 45 RPM. Sure as hell. So this one, it's still, it definitely, you could tell someone else was there writing it with it. It was different. It wasn't bad. I didn't mind this at all. I kind of enjoyed it. It was kind of, I guess maybe it's fresh to have someone else help write at times. I think it's the only time I ever had someone help write them. And then the final one is called Distortion Plus 96 to 2007. These are a variety of other songs that didn't make it onto albums. And so since there weren't on any albums, they just get clear vinyl, I guess. That's just, you know, you don't get splatter. If you weren't good enough to hit those, you just get splatter. I mean, you don't get splatter on it. Life's a bitch. So, not a bad box set. It came with a book. I don't have Cat on me. He's actually sleeping on the couch. It's during the afternoon, so pretty tired. That way he can be up all night running around wanting to go outside. And, yeah, just picture. Big deal. There's only a couple articles in here. For the most part, it just kind of goes through all the lyrics and who did what on there. It's, you know, as far as books go, it's not that big a deal because, again, just just 2 pages of writing. So for those that are fans of words, you'll be mighty disappointed with the whole thing. It's nice to have the lyric sheets, I guess, but I thought you could have done more. So, you know, The first box set I like more. That's the second one. It's kind of the lost years of Bob Mould, and it's the years that I think a lot of people don't realize what's out there. So it's interesting to listen to this again and kind of bring it back, because those are CDs I never played. Now he's going to have a third and fourth box set. His third box set that will be coming out fairly soon is going to have more of the recent work, where he brings back some of that fury, but also there's happy songs, which, how about that? He does Sunshine Pop. What can you ask for from Bob Mould? And the final box, I don't know what's going to be on it unless he goes more to Ooskadoo. I'm not sure. We'll find out. A couple things. Let's just show a couple albums I brought back in. First Class, Beach Baby. All right, now here's the thing. So this is not an inexpensive record. You know what? I should play a sample of it. It had the song Beach Baby on here. It was a 45 I was in love with. So when I'm deciding what vinyl to try to save, and you have these vinyl, worth $100, what do I save? I save Beach Baby, and I did. I saved the album, which was better than what was on here when I rebought this for like $4. Actually, I think it got down to $3. So this is just freaking happiness, man. This is like a tribute to the Beach Boys. It's the harmonies. I mean, look at almost half those guys are singers. I mean, they don't even play instruments. It's just a bunch of singers. There's a couple guys that are playing instruments, but Chas, Tony, John, Del, they just, all four of those sing. Spencer at least sings and does guitar. They all sing. They all do vocals, but the vocals are really cool. The way they harmonize. So to get back Beach Baby, and this came out in probably 1974. This is pure happiness. It really is. It's so wonderful. Another one, Agent Orange. Now, I had an OG. There's the original. I did save the vinyl. I haven't been able to find, just to sell this vinyl with no cover. They're asking $40 on Discogs for it. $40 just for the vinyl, no cover. I paid a little bit more for this, but I saw it there. It's only the second time in my life I've seen it. Agent Orange is such an important punk. I mean, this is when punk was changing more into the heavier sound. As thrash and all that was starting to come. But, that's not what they were. They were still punk, but it was California punk. It came out in '81. And so it was a totally different type of punk that was developing. And you think of Black Flag, you think of Suicidal Tendencies. These guys were fast, they were ferocious. Important album, not the cheapest album in the world, but there it was. And it was one that I just recently got before the flood, and I could pick it up again and was worth it. So now this is my original vinyl. There's another one in here. I got 2 albums. There we go. That's it. That's all I want to do. Keep her a little shorter. So thanks for watching for a couple box sets. Hey, the A was brand new. The Bob Mould wasn't. And some old friends that have come back to be with me again. Appreciate you guys coming back and being me again. Guess that makes you all really old friends, do you? Maybe some are new.